In today's video, we are going to discuss searching. Searching simply implies that we have a set of data, here in our case it is an array, and we need to locate a particular data whether that data is present in the array or not. So searching is simply looking for our data in a very big set of data, that's it. Now here, to understand the concept, we will take a very small size, that is 10. I will be creating an array of 10 and then I will be trying to explain how to do the searching. In our syllabus, we need to discuss only two methods of searching. One is linear search method and the other one is binary search method. First I will discuss linear search and then I will discuss binary search. In linear search technique, you create an array first, obviously that we have to do. We input the data in the array. So this is the data in which we need to locate our data whether it is present or not. N is the data we need to locate, so we entered N. And I have taken a variable k as -1. Now you see, in this program, k will indicate to us whether data has been found or not. Now in an array, in Java, since the location starts from 0 to whatever the size of the array is, so I have taken k as -1 because never in an array a location can be named or can be numbered -1. So the value of k equals to -1 as a default value implies that right now our data is not present in the array. So -1 implies right now our data is not in the array. Now we try to locate our data in the array by searching each and every location, that is by checking each and every location. So what do? We run a loop from 0 to 9. So if the name of the array is A, so this is A0, A1, A2, A3 and so on. We compare our data, that is N, which we wanted to search, with AI. So this implies first it will be N equals to A0, then N equals to A1, then N equals to A2 and so on. And the moment our data is found, that is the values match, we store its location I in k. And since the data has been found, we terminate the process here using break. Now it should be clearly visible to you that if the data is found, its location will come in k. And that location in the size of array 10 will be somewhere from 0 to 9. And if the data is not found even after the loop runs over, that is the loop is run 10 times, that is what we had designed for, the k value will remain -1. So once the loop is terminated, we check the value of k. If the value of k is -1, that implies that we could not find our data in the array. And if the value of k is not -1, then obviously k contains the location of the data. We can also say k contains the index number of the data. And that is what we print here. The data has been found at location k, or you can say at index k. So this simple method is known as linear search method. Simply we are checking every data of the array with the data we want to locate, we want to search. If found, the value of k becomes the location, and if not found, the value of k remains -1. Now, when we discuss this method, linear search, very simple method, very easy method, and generally we are able to understand it in the first time itself. So the question arises, why do I need another method? Here you see binary search looks more complicated than the linear search method. So why do I need to go for binary search? So one of the very big reason is linear search method is a very slow process. Now I generally try to explain it this way. Suppose we have a computer that is fast enough to search 1 lakh data in 1 second. So the computer is able to search 1 lakh data in 1 second. That means this loop will run for 1 lakh times in 1 second. That is how it will try to find out whether the data is there or not. So assuming we have a computer so much fast that it is going to search 1 lakh data in 1 second, and we want to search from 100 crore data, how much time will it take? Let's calculate. If 1 lakh data takes 1 second, that simply implies 100 lakh data will take 100 seconds. 100 lakh means 1 crore. And for 100 crore, we will require 100 into 100 seconds, which is 10,000 seconds, and which when you translate to hours by dividing by 60 and then again dividing by 60. Because once you divide seconds by 60, you get minutes, and once you divide minutes by 60, you get hours. This time will be around 2.45 hours. Now, is it practical? Let's talk about India. There more than 100 crore people have been given Aadhaar number. If any government system where we put in the Aadhaar number and try to find out the related data for that person, so according to this technique and this method, what the time we have calculated is, it will take almost 2.5 hours. That is more than 2.5 hours. No, it's not practical. So linear search is very good method for teaching and learning, but it is a very slow method, not practical at all. So we needed a better and faster technique, and that is where binary search comes. Now it's not that binary search is a very fast technique like that is what the world uses today, no. But obviously binary search is actually the stepping stone to those methods. So we are not going to discuss the actual methods that Google and all those companies use, but yes, binary search is a way improvement over linear search method. Let's see how. So what we need to keep in mind is our computer is taking searching 1 lakh data in 1 second. That means the searching round is obviously it is 1 lakh rounds in 1 second, and the linear search method is taking more than 2.5 hours to search 1 crore data using this computer, which is so much fast. Now binary search technique has a condition. It requires the array to be sorted. The array has to be, you see I have sorted the data here, so array needs to be sorted. That is the precondition of binary search, and sorting itself is a very time taking process. We are not going into that. There are techniques available which sort the data very quickly at the time of entering the data. So that is totally out of domain, our domain, so we are not going to that. We simply will assume that our data is always sorted, and on always sorted data, binary search is actually very effective. Let's see how. Binary search method, instead of checking the entire array, what it does is it locates the midpoint of the array. Let's say this is the midpoint, and if the data is found at this midpoint, okay, the searching is over. But if the data is not found at this midpoint, what are the possibilities? One of the possibility is that my data is bigger than 30. If that is case, the data will not be above 4, it will be below 4. And if my data is less than 30, it will be not below 4, it will be above 4. That means half of the data will be discarded, because we know that my data that I am looking for will not be in the upper or the lower half. So assuming my data is bigger than 30, upper half is discarded. Then in the lower half, we again find the midpoint and then try to search the data here. If the data is at this midpoint, data is found. Otherwise, once again, either it will be above 7 or it will be below 7. And this way, binary search uses a divide and conquer method. What it does is, every time it will divide the array into 2 and discard one of the parts. Now let us see how much fast it is. Suppose we have 100 crore data. In the first round itself, it will discard 50 crore data. From the remaining 50 crore, in the next round, it will discard the 25 crore data. Third round, it will discard 12.5 crore data. So how much remaining? 12.5 crore. In the fourth round, out of 12.5, 6.25 will be discarded. So how much remaining? 6.25. In the fifth round, from 6.25 again half the data will be discarded, which will be around 3 point something. Remaining 3 point something. Let us put it 4. Let us make it 4. In the sixth round, out of 4, 2 crore data will be discarded. Seventh round, only 1 crore data. So you see in 7 rounds, sorry, from 100 crore, it came to 1 crore. and right now we have only made 7 rounds. 100 times reduction. 1 crore divided by 100 is 1 crore. Further 7 rounds, the data from 1 crore, it will reduce to 1 lakh divided by 100. So out in 14 rounds, from 100 crore data, now we are only left with 1 crore data, where we might find our data. More 7 rounds, that is 21 rounds, that 1 lakh becomes 1000. More 7 rounds, that 1000 becomes 10. So in 28 rounds, we are only left with 10 data. Even if we search all the 10 datas individually, the total round is 38. Although actual figure will be less than 30, but yes, in our calculation it is coming 38. Now, just now we discussed that our computer is able to search 1 lakh data in 1 second. That means how many rounds? 1 lakh rounds. And this method requires only 7 rounds. Only 38 rounds. Now you can imagine 1 lakh rounds, our computer is capable of making 1 lakh rounds in a second, and we have found our data in only 38 rounds. So 38th part of 1 lakh or 1 second. That is very, very fast. And that is why binary search method is a faster technique than linear search method, and that is the reason we are going to study it. Now we need to discuss how this method actually works. For that, we will see it's working, and before the working, I have made the program for you. As you can see, I have entered the data, I have created an array of size 10. Here the value of the size of the array is not mentioned. So here it is, the size of the array is 10. We entered the data, and we have assumed that the data entered is already sorted in ascending order, because the prerequisite is data needs to be sorted. Alternatively, we could have assumed a set of data which is in ascending order, and instead of creating and inputting data, we could have directly assigned the data. So either technique that you require, that is as per your choice. Now we enter the data that we want to search in N. Again, I have taken K to indicate whether data is found or not. K is -1 right now. Obviously, if the data is found, K will contain its location 0 to 9. But we have some new variables here. One of them is start, one of them is end, and one of them is mid. These 3 variables are going to be very helpful in this particular method. Now what does start contains? See, when you start your program, at the beginning, when you begin with, you need to search the entire array. So start indicates the location from where you need to start searching, and N indicates the location up to which you need to search. So obviously, in the beginning of the program, start will be 0, end will be 9, or whatever the last location of the array is. Mid we will see right now. Then we write a loop here while start is less than equals to n. Right now we will ignore the condition start is less than equals to n, and we will simply run the loop and see what happens. Right now, just now I told you that binary search method requires the middle location of the array. So the first thing we did was we found mid equals to start plus n divided by 2. Now start is 0, end is 9, so 0 plus 9 divided by 2 will give you 4. Integer by integer is also an integer, that is also being applied here. So the middle location is 4. Now there are 3 possibilities. Either my data is at this location, and if the data is not at this location, it will be bigger than 30 or it will be lower than 30. See, that are the 3 conditions that I am checking. If n double equals to a mid is the location 4. So if my data is found at A4, topic over, k equals to mid. So mid, that k contains the location. Since we have found the data, we terminate the process. Otherwise, if the data is not found, then it is possible that my data is bigger than A4, that is 30. Now visualize. This red pen here indicates the start of the array. Blue pen indicates the end of the array. My data is bigger than 30. So now I don't need to search the entire array. Rather, this red pen should shift from 4 plus 1, that is 5. So if my data is there, it will be in this part of the array, otherwise it will not be there. So that is what we have done. The red pen indicated the value of start. So the value of start now becomes mid, that is 4 plus 1. See, the red pen indicated start, which was 0 right now. If my data is more than 30, the value of start changes to mid plus 1. So now the range that we will have is, okay, I need to look for my data in 5 to 9, location 5 to 9. If it is there, well and good. If it is not there, obviously we will print not found. Yes, the process will go on, we will see later on. The second option is, my data was less than 30, that is the last option. Now, if my data was less than 30, you can easily now visualize and understand that the value of AND needs to be changed to mid minus 1. So that way, now start remains 0 and AND becomes mid minus 1, and we will find our new range of the data in which we need to search. So once again I will repeat the entire thing so that it is clear to you. At the beginning, start is 0 and is 9. If my data is found at location 4, which is the midpoint, well and good, topic over. Otherwise, there are two possibilities. My data might be bigger than 30. In that case, the new range where we need to look for the data is, that means the start will change mid plus 1. So the new range will be 5 to 9. If my data is smaller than the data at midpoint, that is 30, in that case, the value of N needs to be changed from mid minus 1. And that is what you will see here that we have done. So as you can see, inside the while loop, we have only two statements. One, to find the middle location, and then to check whether my data is there at that location, or it is greater than, or is it less than. And this process keeps on repeating till either the data is found or data is not found. To get a better handle or to understand it in better way, I will take some sample data and do the processing part for you so that you can clearly understand. One data I am taking from the lower end, say 45. So I want to search whether my array contains 45. And for that, I will need to have three variables here. One is start, one is end, and one is mid. And using these three variables, we will try to understand the entire concept. At the beginning, the value of start will be 0, the value of end will be 9. We come in the loop, we enter n is 45 in our example. Mid, that is start plus end, first time the mid will always be 4. 0 plus 9 divided by 2, you will get 4. So if now n is 45 and is 45 equals to A4, A4 contains 30. So is 45 equals to 30? No. Is 45 greater than 30? Yes. Now since it is greater, we need to change the value of start to mid plus 1. So now you see the value of start becomes mid plus 1, that is 5, and remains as it is. So the new range now we have is 5 and 9. Next round, ignore start less than equal, we will come to it, ignore it right now. Next round, we find the mid again, but now the value of start has changed. So the new mid will be 7. The new mid that you will get now is 7. That is 5 plus 9, 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now is 45 equals to A7? No, A7 contains 48. Is 45 greater than 48? No, it is less than. So what we need to change is the value of end, mid minus 1. So start remains 5, mid is 7, 7 minus 1 is 6, so the value of end becomes 6. Now you see, if my data is there, it is in this range, otherwise my data is not there. Now this new value 5 and 6, next round, we again find the mid, 5 and 6, mid will be 5. 5 plus 6 is 11, 11 by 2 is 5.5, but integer by integer you will get 5. So this is the new mid that you get. Is my data 45 at A5, that is 41? No. Is 45 greater than 41? Yes. So we again change the value of start, and the value of start now becomes mid plus 1, that is 6. End is also 6. The new, in the next round, the new mid that will also come to be 6. And now you will observe, is my data at A6? Yes, it is there. So the value of k will become 6. The location, the process will terminate. Is k equals to -1? No, it is not. Hence, data has been found at the location 6. Is this program? I hope this program is clear. Now, let's take another example from the upper side. Say I am searching for 20. Now, as you can see, the array does not contain 20, and that is the idea. We needed to consider a case where the data existed, and we also need to consider a case where the data does not exist. So once again, we will require variables start and mid. And as you can see, at the beginning of the program, the value of start will be 0, value of end will be 9, and the first mid will always be 4 if the size of the array is 10. So start is 0, end is 9, k is -1, and we entered, end is now 20. Now it is not 45, it is 20, and we come inside the loop. We find the mid, that is 4. Is 20 equals to A4? Is 20 equals to 30? No. Is 20 greater than 30? No, it is less than, and hence we need to change the value of end. So this is the new value. So this is the range now we have. Next round, 0 and 3, the mid will come 1. So new mid that we get is 1. Is my data at A1? Is 20 equals to A1, that is 12? Is 20 equals to 12? No. Is 20 greater than 12? Yes. Now since it is yes, the value of start needs to be changed. So the value of start now becomes mid plus 1, that is 2 and 3. So you can clearly see if my data is there, it will be in this range, otherwise my data is not there. The midpoint of 2 and 3 will be 2. So the new midpoint that we get is 2. Once again, is 20 equals to A2, that is 15? No. Is 20 greater than 15? Yes. So if it is greater, what the value we will change? We will change the value of, that is start mid plus 1, and end is also 3 right now, and because of that the midpoint will also come 3. So we will get 2 3s here, and the midpoint is also 3. Is my data at A3? Location A3, is it there? No, it is not there. Okay. Is 20 equals to A3, that is 25? No. Is 20 greater than 25? Once again, no. Hence the value of n needs to be changed. And the value of n now becomes, start remains 2, end becomes 3 minus 1, that is 2. And here is the trick. Now you can clearly see that the value of start is more than the value of end, which is not normal. In a proper searching, the value of start should always be less than or equals to end. The moment in the entire process value of start exceeds that of end, that means it becomes greater than end, that is the indicator that data is not there. So you need to print data not found, and that is why now you once again see in totality. Because of this condition, the moment 3 and 2, start becomes 3 and becomes 2, because of this condition the loop will terminate and the value of k will remain -1, and it will print data not found. So if your data is there will come a time when start and end will become same, and obviously the midpoint you will get will be the location where the data is. And if the data is not there will come a time when the value of start will exceed the value of end. There will come a time, and that will be the indicator that this array does not contain the data that we are looking for. So that is the basic program of binary search method. There are certain variations that you will need to consider. Number 1, this program has been made assuming that the array is in ascending order. What if the array is in descending order? The only change you will need to make is that instead of n greater than a mid, you will need to make it n less than a mid. Only change, nothing else needs to be changed. You simply make it from greater than to less than, and that will suffice. So I will write here, one of the changes that will be required is a less than a mid. This is for descending order. What if the data type of the array is not integer or a number, instead it is a string value. So the data type is a string, so we input in a string. So what do we do? In a string, instead of double equals to, we will have to use equals ignore case. And instead of greater than, we will need to use compare to. The same logic applies here also in linear search. In linear search also, instead of double equals to, you will need to give equals ignore case. Now how? I will take the example of binary search method. N double equals to a mid will become n dot equals ignore case a mid. Obviously, and for n greater than a mid, it will become n dot compare to a mid greater than 0. That is the two changes that you will need to keep in mind if the data type is string for ascending order, and if it is descending order, instead of greater than, you will write less than 0. Otherwise, the entire program will remain same.